Kid Cudi, Dutu, Lutu, can I at least say goodbye?
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Number 20, Gary Coleman. Former child actor Gary Coleman found himself a target of the tabloids in January of 2010, when he was arrested on an outstanding warrant related to domestic assault. He subsequently appeared on The Insider in an attempt to clear his name, but was pelted with accusations by the hosts.
A little relationship with your wife. Have you ever physically touched her?
No, I don't have a volatile relationship with anybody.
In the course, he grows particularly hostile towards guest host Lisa Bloom, who seemingly refuses to listen despite his constant denials. They proceed to get into a fierce screaming match before Coleman storms out in a flurry of curses.
Because she's pushing my buttons, and I don't like her now, and the next thing I'm gonna do is leave. So all of you.
The other hosts can do nothing but sit and gawk at the sheer pandemonium that is taking place beside them. Number 19, Julian Assange. Getting an opportunity to speak to the man who probably knows more than most isn't an opportunity to be squandered, but sadly, that's what CNN ended up doing.
And it is extraordinarily disrespectful to those people to start conflating the first revelation of that material with any sort of tabloid journalism.
During a 2010 interview, the journalist repeatedly asked Assange questions about his personal life, prompting him to threaten to walk if the questions didn't stop.
I'm going to walk if you're going to contaminate us revealing the deaths of 104,000 people.
The interview was intended to focus on the importance of WikiLeaks, but quickly turned to inquiries regarding Assange's past lawsuits. After repeated warnings that he would leave if the topic of conversation continued, Assange stayed true to his word and walked out.
Okay, sorry.
Julian, I'm happy to go on to that route. In what sense?
Number 18, R. Kelly. Now this is an interview for the ages. While appearing on HuffPost Live, R. Kelly is told by the interviewer that his controversial personal life has been affecting his album sales and the way people interact with his lyrics.
Your personal life has started to interfere with the way that people consume your lyrics.
Right,
I sent you some messages there about that.
You're here to get ratings, and I understand it. I respect that.
No,
but
so
you won't be getting them off me if you're going to interrogate me.
I'm not interrogating
talk
you.
About something positive.
This does not please Kelly, and he tells the interviewer that she only has one more question. This results in an absolutely hilarious and surreal moment where the two talk over each other for a solid minute, with neither being interested in what the other has to say.
There have been multiple accusations against you, against young women in Chicago, and they are concerned about your past, and that's impacting them from purchasing your music sales.
I love them all. It doesn't matter who they are.
Of course, the interviewer has a point, because R. Kelly's reputation has plummeted in recent years. Number 17, Sarah, Duchess of York. Nobody likes being confronted with video evidence of them committing a crime, especially royalty. In an interview with the Australian version of 60 Minutes, the Duchess didn't seem to want to be there whatsoever. Snappy replies, eye-rolling, and the demand that the camera crew delete certain segments of the recording
Delete that bitch.
made for an interview that was wild from start to finish. The final straw came when she was shown footage of her accepting a bribe for offering insider access to members of the royal family. With one more huff, the Duchess was out. Number 16, Rita Ora. It's not often that celebrities walk on the Associated Press, but here you have it. Rita Ora gives a rather innocuous interview with the Associated Press, and everything seems to be going swimmingly until the interviewer brings up Calvin Harris not releasing some of her stuff, causing Ora to politely smile and walk away.
There's been a lot of rumors that between Calvin Harris and not releasing some of your stuff.
Thank you. Bye-bye. A discerning listener can also make out someone off camera saying something to the effect of, "We're not talking about anything personal," and the fact that the interviewer was presumably warned about this makes the situation even more awkward. We guess he just got caught up in the moment and sensed some juicy gossip.
It's my love of pop mixed with my love of soul and people that I've loved working with growing up, so it's a great surprise.
When can we expect that music?
The music comes out next year, January.
Number 15, Paris Hilton. Sometimes celebrities just don't want to give up the spotlight. In the case of Paris Hilton, even the suggestion that her fame had run its course hit a sore spot for the notorious diva. As this ABC News interview went on, and she was questioned if she felt threatened by the Kardashians' newfound fame, Hilton became more and more Hilton.
Do you ever worry about your moment having passed?
Sarcastic laughter and clipped short replies hinted that the TV personality had just about had it with her time in the interview chair. When the reporter asked, "Do you want to wrap up?" Paris spared him an answer and simply got up and left.
You want to wrap up?
When I was curious about one thing going back.
Number 14, LeBron James.
A bit of context for this one. In Game 1 of the 2018 NBA Finals, Cleveland Cavalier J.R. Smith made a monumental mistake, resulting in the eventual loss of the game.
Watch James. Now wanted a timeout, but too late to get it. And 5 minutes go up on the clock, overtime here in Game 1.
Teammate LeBron James was visibly peeved at Smith, and journalists couldn't help but bring it up in the post-game conference. An ESPN reporter asked James what Smith was thinking when he made the error, resulting in a bitter back and forth. When pressed further, despite answering the question numerous times, James simply stood up, gathered his belongings, and left the stage amidst a painfully awkward silence.
Did you know if he knew the score?
Thank you.
We're gonna go ahead and say no, he didn't know what Smith was thinking. Just a hunch.
Number 13, Bee Gees. Before you bring a world-famous band onto your show, it's probably best to brush up on at least a few of their songs. When Stayin' Alive superstars appeared on Clive Anderson's talk show in 1996, things were tense from the beginning. Singer Barry Gibb seemed to become especially annoyed with Anderson after the host mentioned he'd forgotten one of their hits from the past, and the pop star laughed before simply excusing himself and walking off stage.
We're getting on like a storm, aren't we, Clive?
Yes.
In fact, I might just leave.
Yeah. Oh, I've never had anyone walk out before, but...
With a painfully awkward half apology, the rest of the band slowly followed, leaving the stunned host all alone.
Oh, well, I guess I better join them.
Was it something he said? Number 12, Jesse Ventura.
In 2009, vet, wrestling icon, actor, and politician Jesse Ventura appeared on Opie and Anthony, only to spar with comedian Jim Norton over the topic of the American government and military. Norton continuously yells into the microphone, while Ventura calmly tries to explain his situation and point of view.
I just said government's covering it up. We have not been told the truth.
So you feel that
Well, okay, wait a minute. All right? If you'll calm down a moment.
You're yelling. You said the F word.
Yelling.
You're the governor. The F word.
This is serious.
It eventually gets so bad that Jesse simply just sits back and stares at Norton, clearly frustrated with his stubbornness. Ventura leaves 20 minutes later, but even in the midst of physically walking out of the studio, he and Norton can't help but dig into each other.
Bye, tough guy.
Bye, tough guy.
And thanks for your service to our country.
You're welcome. Thanks for touching me with your stupid riff-raff Rocky Horror hairdo.
It's wonderfully awkward, and it's a miracle that it didn't come to blows. Let's just say, Jim wouldn't have lasted long.
Number 11, Donald Trump. Ever since his election, there's been friction between Donald Trump and the press, to put it mildly, and this botched interview with CBS was no exception. Though it began smoothly, things went south fast when the infamous validity behind the Obama wiretapping accusations were brought up.
You call him sick and bad. Look, you can figure it out yourself.
Apparently, this was a touchy subject for President Trump, as only moments after the questioning began, he waved the reporter away and announced that the interview was over.
It's enough. Thank you. Thank you very much.
To be quite honest, nobody was all that surprised.
Can't talk anymore. No, can't talk anymore.
Number 10, Jordan Belfort.
Why can't I ask these
honestly,
questions?
and I was told this was a friendly, nice interview, and no one has ever treated me as disrespectfully as you have, really.
Legally speaking, Jordan Belfort is a convicted scammer and fraudster who spent 2 years in prison. You may know this because Leonardo DiCaprio played him in The Wolf of Wall Street. After its release, Belfort sat down with 60 Minutes reporter Liz Hayes. throughout, Belfort grows hostile when Hayes discusses his victims and their restitution. But things get really wild once she asks if he's hiding money in Australia, leading him to scoff and prod Hayes to move on. But an off-screen voice cuts the interview short.
You have an oral contract with your management, the Fordham Company. Is that an attempt to hide your income?
Next question.
I think the peanut gallery is going to start chiming really quickly. We've been audited.
I think you can air what you want here out of this interview. It's done.
Why can't I?
You got a lot of nerve, boy, I'll tell you.
Belfort proceeds to chastise Hayes from the sidelines, calling her disrespectful and telling her that she has a lot of nerve to ask the question she was asking.
Number 9. Robert Pattinson. Ryan Seacrest is no stranger to awkward moments.
Well, I'm giving you a high five.
But this red carpet weirdathon with the Twilight star still makes us cringe. Chatting it up like old friends, the interview was going well until the radio host decided to make a poke at a taboo topic, Robert's relationship with co-star Kristen Stewart.
What do you say to your fans who are desperate to know about you and your co-star Kristen? What can you tell them?
After an awkward pause, Pattinson's PR manager decided that enough was enough and spirited the teen heartthrob away, with Seacrest sitting shunned.
But I was just cut off for the first time ever.
Too bad it didn't keep the Robston drama from blowing up all over the tabloids. Number 8. Shannon Tweed.
She's mad because you made a joke about it.
I was trying to lighten the mood, and
she was not having it.
Yeah.
In June of 2011, Shannon Tweed and husband figure Gene Simmons appeared on Joy Behar Say Anything to promote the new season of Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. The interview was a little awkward to begin with, as Tweed kept repeating that she was sick of her relationship with Simmons and his philandering ways.
What about though? You've been with him for 27 years. Is it new?
I'm tired.
28.
I'm tired of it.
You're tired of the life?
Well, the kids went to college, and I'm tired of his life.
Shannon rips off her microphone and walks out, as Gene calmly asks her to return. Luckily, not too much damage was done, as Simmons and Tweed married just 4 months later and are still together as of 2019. At least the story has a happy ending.
Number 7. Naomi Campbell. Diamonds, drama, cameras being punched, this sounds like an episode of Real Housewives. Backstage during Campbell's charity fashion show for Haiti, ABC reporters decided to question the supermodel about how she allegedly received a large blood diamond from ex-Liberian President Charles Taylor. Apparently she wasn't in the mood to discuss her jewelry, as she quickly cut the reporter off and said that she would not be discussing any diamond during the interview.
From Charles, I didn't receive a diamond, and I'm not going to speak about that.
Shortly afterwards, she stormed away, knocking a camera out of a producer's hands as she made a hasty exit.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Let's get up.
Number 6. Kid Cudi.
Nardwuar is an oddly beloved, cult Canadian interviewer who uses an idiosyncratic personality and some truly impressive research to throw off his guests. His unorthodox approach typically results in bewilderment and maybe even some acknowledgement, but it often gets him into trouble.
Yo, he know too much. I can't do this.
Things were going quite well with Kid Cudi until Nardwuar showed Cudi some albums that his deceased uncle played on. Cudi is polite enough, but he quickly leaves without any fanfare or formal goodbye. He just up and walks out the door while Nardwuar chases him down the short hallway.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. Can you say bye-bye?
Come on, man, chill out.
Number 5. Christine O'Donnell.
I think I'm being rather charming and respectful. I'm just asking you questions based on your own public statements.
When it comes to this notoriously sassy British TV personality, he has no issue putting his guest in the spotlight, whether it's Kelsey Grammer or once Republican Senate candidate Christine O'Donnell. Known for being just a tad eccentric, O'Donnell didn't disappoint with her reaction to Morgan's questions regarding her views on gay marriage.
Do you talk about gay marriage in the book?
What relevance is that right now?
At first dodging the question and then becoming angry at Morgan for his rudeness, the Senate hopeful announced that she'd given up another interview for this slot and that she was being pulled away.
Yeah, okay, I'm being pulled away. You know, we turned down another interview for this.
Leaving us all in awkward silence.
All right, are we off? Are we done?
Still there. I'm not. I'm still here.
Number 4. Justin Bieber.
This entire interview was like something you'd see in Lost in Translation. Bieber appeared on a Spanish radio show in 2015 and immediately took umbrage with the format. As the interview was conducted in Spanish, a translator was required to both translate the host's questions and the Bieb's answers.
Fiestas, por ejemplo, de Guadalcanal, pues que no va al Central Fogo, no va a fiestas patronales de Washington. Ahí no me dejo. Sí, bueno, pues como nosotros.
You can practically see Bieber's eyes glazing over throughout the interview due to the glacial pace and terrible questions, which many people attribute to poor translating. After 8 minutes of torture and some unnecessary personal digs, the hosts asked Justin to break the internet with some popular YouTubers, forcing Bieber to nonchalantly walk out amidst the host's obvious excitement.
Okay,
Hundreds of millions,
okay,
right?
yeah. Come with us, come with us. Justin.
And they are YouTubers.
Vamos aquí, come with us.
Talk about being a buzzkill. You know, he was great with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Number 3, Robert Downey Jr.
What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
The British journalist Krishnan Gurumurthy has made awkward interviews his specialty. When Iron Man star Robert Downey Jr. sat down with him in 2015 to promote the latest Avengers movie, we're guessing RDJ wasn't expecting to be asked about his political opinions, his relationship with his dad, or his past experiences with drugs and alcohol.
You've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in, the dark periods you went through.
After testily answering a few of the interviewer's questions, Downey tried to steer the topic back to the movie before deciding that it was getting a little Diane Sawyer.
You seem okay, it's just getting a little Diane Sawyer in your...
No, look, I don't want to do that.
Number 2, Joan Rivers.
You know, this whole interview is becoming a defensive interview. No! Are you wearing leather shoes?
Yeah,
shut up.
I'm talking.
The late Joan Rivers was not to be messed with. CNN proved that the hard way. The interviewer, Frederica Whitfield, is clearly doing that whole "I'll attack you, but I'll pretend to be polite and act innocent" thing throughout the whole interview. She takes numerous potshots at Rivers while continuing to feign friendliness, which includes laughing at Joan's comments, but before long, she has had enough.
You're just saying, no, I'm going. I really am going because all you have done is negative.
Once Whitfield comments on Rivers' fur coat, she flies off the handle before calling the interview negative and storming off. Whitfield also states that Rivers kept her microphone on after the cameras had cut and let fly some rather, colorful language. Something tells us Joan did not take kindly to the passive aggressiveness.
Number 1, Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar. You know it's bad when the hosts decide that they've had enough. Pit legendary Whoopi Goldberg against then Fox News host Bill O'Reilly, and the gloves are bound to come off. A heated debate regarding the construction of mosques after 9/11 sparked an argument between the hosts that escalated quickly.
Oh my God!
After O'Reilly's remark about Muslims, both Behar and Goldberg decided they'd had enough and walked off.
You're outraged about
After a short cooldown and an apology from O'Reilly, they returned, but we'll never forget the stunned silence as the two TV titans figuratively left the building. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.